Oh, hello. Okay, now for March 29th. So I wasn't wrong. I thought at first I was kind of mixing the days, but no, I wasn't. For what I did after going to the offices and everything, which I will just explain more later. I just wanted to put that quick note. So, for the 29th, I ended up waking up early again. Not as early as last time. I think I woke up around, maybe more around 9 or 10 or so. And once again, I took pictures of the routes uh, to going. I think maybe I didn't do it the second day, but maybe I did. I'm not sure. I have to look at my photos, which maybe I should have did before this. But oh well, no one's really judging me by I don't know my professionalism, anyways. um, so yeah, I got up. This time I didn't eat anything in the morning, I believe. I think I had just left without eating anything. And so I went to straight to the Social Security office this time. And I took all my papers. I took the temporary ID now that they gave me. And something I forgot to say yesterday was the Social Security lady who I had talked to, tried getting the card with. She was the one that actually told me that I can get my social if I can get the temporary ID. So when I was at the ID place, it was um, a little worrisome that maybe I wouldn't get the temporary ID because again, I thought I needed the social to get my ID. So all of it was everything was always relying on everything. Like I was so worried about getting the social because I needed to get the ID. Then now it's flipped. Now I need to try to get the ID so I can get the social. And yeah, and then if I don't get social, I can't get the passport. If I don't get the ID, well, I can't get anything. um, so yeah, now with the temporary ID, I was able to yeah, be able to get the social. And it was kind of funny because when I went there, it was the same security guards as the day before, and yeah, you can obviously tell they recognize me. So, and at first they didn't say anything. The only reason I mentioned this now is because of later. Um, and so yeah, I went through the security again, and this time actually there was a guy who they had to handcuff and everything because he took all his stuff out, and but when he went through the metal detector, it beeped, and then he was like, "Oh, I forgot I have a razor on me," and the guys they kind of freaked out a little bit because he didn't say anything until they put the wand on him, and then they found it, and then the guy was like, "Oh yeah, I have it." So I'm pretty sure they thought maybe he was trying to bring it in on purpose or something. So yeah, they had to handcuff him, and then they had to wait for like another guy to come to help them to search through his shorts, and he was wearing like pants, and his shorts were underneath, but they were like baggy, so his shorts were like sticking out a little bit. Uh, so then yeah, the third guy when he came by, or I think it was the fourth actually. They already had three security guards there. It was a fourth guy that came, and they had to try to. The fourth guy had to try to like reach under his pants into his shorts to try to take the razor out, which was kind of funny. I'm pretty sure the security guard felt a little awkward doing that. The guy who was in handcuffs, he seemed kind of calm about it though. He's like, "Oh yeah, it's there." I'm guessing he was trying to be calm and be like, "Oh yeah, it was really on accident. I didn't mean to." I don't know what happened after that. I left after seeing just that scene. So not sure what happens with that. Um, so uh, yeah, so I went to the waiting room, got my number again, and Went to the lady. It was the same lady as the day before, and showed her all my stuff. And then with everything, she explained a lot of, I'm guessing, disclaimer things, and telling me about, like, you know, um, mm, forget the word, but basically it's fraud. But it's the other one where it's legal and you know you're lying about your identity and everything. Um, and so yeah, she did all the paperwork and everything, and then told me how I'll get my social security card in the mail. And yeah, I thought they'd give you one too, and I had asked her, they don't give you like a temporary one, and she said no, not anymore. So I guess that's why I remember getting it right away. They used to give temporary ones, but it was just 2 years ago that they had stopped doing that. Um, and so yeah, then I left a little disappointed I didn't have the temporary one, because I thought, well, now with the ID and social, I can go around much more easier trying to apply to places. Um, and oh yeah, I did get the days mixed up then. I didn't go at all to apply anywhere yesterday. Um, so yeah, actually I was wrong about being right or wrong. I don't remember what I said in the beginning. Uh, so yeah, I didn't actually go at all after yesterday to apply to places, and because now I remember how after leaving the office, um, it's because they didn't give me a temporary one, I had actually left and went outside and called one of the places I wanted to apply to and asked them, is there any way I can use a printout from a job I'm at now, a printout of my social as a way to apply? And they had told me no, but they can use my birth certificate. Yeah, because I told them that the I was at the Social Security office and they don't print out temporary ones anymore. But yeah, she told me I can use my birth certificate actually after all. Um, and so yeah, with that, I thought it was good news, but just in case, I wanted to, what do you call it? I wanted to still try to see if there's anything I can do to get like the actual social temporary one, or maybe just a printout. And so I had actually went back inside, and here's why I mentioned about the security guards. The security guards, they're kind of like joking, like, "You're back again." um, I don't know. They kind of gave me a look too, because they're like, "Why is he coming back in and out so much?" And maybe thinking I was trying to do something bad or whatever. Um, but I just told them like, "Oh yeah, hopefully for the last time." um, so yeah, I just went through security again, and I just went to the weight room, and waited till the lady was finished with a person, and then I tried asking her like some questions real quick, and I asked her if there's any way to get the social security card faster, because I had actually looked it up if there's any way to get it faster, and apparently there's certain offices that they do print them out at the office. So I was just asking her if there was any around or anything like that, like if you pay a fee. But she said no, that they do have it some places, but nowhere here. So that was a bit of a bummer. Um, so that was that. Then I left the building again, and told the security guards bye for the last time. And then I went outside and I just called my office because I wanted to ask them if I can get a printout of my ID and social that they have, just as, I don't know, an extra measure, and get any kind of papers that will help me at all, really. So I called them. They said that okay, they'll print it out for me, which was really nice. They could have easily said no, which I was worried about. But I ended up going to there, getting it, um, and from there I went to the place where I was gonna go to apply. Um, so I went to just all around really, like even at the ID place, I kind of went around um, and tried applying to any temp agencies that were close by. One temp agency I did apply to. The good news is that they actually have a lot of jobs, but all of them are full time and require you to work for at least 90 days because they're more serious jobs. Um, and since I have to leave um, in a few months or something, hopefully a couple months, I can't work with them just yet until after I come back. But they told me, yeah, that they'll keep my application and everything, and as soon as I come back, I can start working. I don't need to apply again or anything, which is kind of good. So that helps a lot with coming back and moving forward with other plans to try to work on things. And so to go back where I messed up for the yesterday, actually I had went to the bank because I wanted to try and make a bank account uh, for work, so that way I don't have to use the pay card that they use, because the pay card they charge every time I use the card. They charge 50 cents every time I use it, which yeah, adds up to a lot, especially if you're only buying something that's $1. So instead you're paying $1.50, which is a pretty big increase in the amount of money you're paying for something so cheap. A lot of times what I do is I'll go to Walmart or something, buy whatever I need, and I'll withdraw like $50 or $100 at a time just so I can use that. And it only ends up coming out to about less than 1% of a fee. Because before the pay card, I used to go to a place that was 1% cash checking. So as long as it's less than 1%, it's at least better than what it used to be. And so yeah, I went to the bank. I took some pictures. It was a really fancy bank and huge bank. It was a Frost Bank. And I tried making an account with them, but I wasn't able to at the time. Yeah, I didn't have my social security card, so couldn't do it. They need the real one. They couldn't take birth certificate or anything like that. So that was kind of a bummer as well. A lot of things keep trying to do, but always can't do it for some reason. Yeah, I always try to do things, try to do what I need to do, but there's always something that will stop me. But I just keep on trying to do everything. Eventually I'll be able to do it. It just takes time. So yeah, that's what I did afterwards. I went to the bank, and then after that went to the store to just get something to eat, and then went home. And that was for yesterday, just not to get confused. And then for today, yeah, I went around. I think I went to about 3 or 4 places to try to apply. In total, I think I went to 6 different agencies, but all of them, I guess because it was Friday or whatever, all of them, they stopped taking applications at like 2. Only one did till 5. But their application was online, so, and it was already like 4:50 I think when I got there, and so they were telling me I can try to do it quick, or I can just do it at home or whatever, but I have to go back to do an interview So I could do it there, but I had to go back anyways for the interview. So I was like, oh, I'll just do it another time. Um, I successfully applied to really only just one place. The other places wasn't able to fully apply, or it's like I had to go back another time. And some of the other places too, it's easier to apply to. It's just that it was past two, so I couldn't. And then the places that I could apply to, that's like, oh, you apply online, and then come back for an interview, which uh, the interview doesn't even matter either. They just ask you some basic questions to make sure you're not someone who's gonna like steal stuff or whatever, or someone who's, I guess, violent or has a short temper. Um, they even told me preemptively, well, in the interview, or they'll give you a test. It's going to be asking you questions like, oh, if you lost hours on your paycheck, is it okay to take office supplies to compensate? Obviously, no, but they're just seeing if anyone's going to say yes because uh, I don't know, someone actually does it. Apparently, a lot of people do it. That's why they were warning me about it because apparently a lot of people fail that. Um, so yeah, went a lot of walking for Friday, just all around. I went to a second bank too. Actually, I went to three banks. It was Frost. Well, Frost was yesterday, and then that day in total it was three because I had went to another bank. Don't even remember the name of it really, and then it was at a mall. I had just went there to check out. I could apply, but again, they don't take birth certificates. At first, the lady was like, "Oh yeah, we can take it," but then one of her managers came by and said, "No, we had changed our policy just a couple months ago." Uh, so they froze um, my account or whatever. Like they're in the process of making it. They just need my social and the real ID in order to complete the account. And then I went to across the street. Well, not really across the street. It was like way down the street. It was like a 10-minute walk. There was another bank. I think it was like Long Star Bank or whatever. And there I was able to make an account too. I was actually able to make an account. It took a while. I was like, the bank was like empty. And there's like three people there. And um, two of them were just like not doing anything. They're kind of, one was counting money, and then the other one um, was, I don't know, doing something, I guess. Didn't really look like it. The only one that was really busy was one person that was in a little office, and instead of one of the other girls helping me set up the account, they just waited for the other one to finish her job. So I had to wait like 20 minutes just for that lady to finish, which was kind of annoying, I guess. Yeah. Just a little bit of I guess, a rant there. Just a minor thing. It seemed pretty bad for, I guess, customer service right there. Uh, so yeah, I was able to make, at least I made the bank account, which is the good thing. And with that, I'm hoping, I guess, to um, use it as direct deposit instead of the pay card. But I haven't done it yet because I'm still thinking of maybe trying to use that other bank that has like a frozen account for me, and using that instead because they don't have any fees or anything. The one I applied to, they're charging $10 a month and $1 for using a debit card a month, so it comes out to $11 a month, which isn't too nice, I guess, especially that like so many other banks don't charge anything unless you don't use the account. Um, yeah, a lot of other banks still, it's like use your card 10 times or have direct deposit and it's free, but not with them. So I'm hoping to at least try to make a different one and close that account first, but have to see what happens. And after all of that, then went to the store and pretty much the past 2 days too was waiting on the other guy to pay me for the job. Um, but I hadn't heard anything yet until as soon as I was finished with everything and I got to the store. He actually texted me and was saying like where was I, so that way he can pay me, which is a good thing. Was a little worried because he's like owed me money before and it takes forever to pay me, but this time he actually did it pretty quick. Um, so yeah, then he got to the store where I was, and he actually gave me a ride home, which was nice. And then was finally able to relax and go to sleep pretty early that day. I don't know how much walking I did, but I did a lot of traveling too, around on the bus. Uh, so it was a pretty tiring day, but I at least finally was able to do everything I actually needed to do, and um, at least the big things are done, and now it's just the waiting game of when I actually get the ID in the mail and the social security card in the mail, which can take anywhere from 1 to 2 weeks. So that sucks, but I don't know why it takes so long. Wish I could just pay money, like just pay the $5 for the shipping. Like a small UPS shipping box is only $5. I'd rather pay that to get it in 2 days instead of waiting for the snail mail come in after 1 or 2 weeks. Uh, so everything is looking good so far. Everything's moving forward. Finally, have all the important paperwork to. Are they? Finally, have all the important paperwork I need. Then the final thing is just the passport, which would be another 2 weeks. After these 2 weeks of waiting, but everything's moving closer. So, have a good day and thank you for listening. Now, here are just some pictures of the Frost Bank when I went to it. I didn't get to take any pictures of the other bank, but there wasn't nothing special about it. This one though is just like extremely fancy and huge.